Welcome back to Elden Ring. In this video we're going to be taking a look at a fantastic build that is incredibly overpowered, but this is not a build you can get very early into the game. You are going to need 30 strength as a requirement. You are also going to need access to the capital city. I will explain exactly how you can gain access in a moment. But just quickly, before we get any further into the video, if you're not currently subbed to the channel, make sure you do sub, turn notifications on. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like. All support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to support me further as a creator, then check out the links in the description. And let's get into it. So the very first thing you are going to want to do is, from the first step, make your way to Gatefront, go along to Stormhill Shack. From Stormhill Shack, you are going to need to kill Godric. That is one of the requirements for this to gain access to the capital city. You do have to get your hands on 2 great runes, as far as I am aware. They will drop off the demigods, like the big beefy bosses. So get your hands on 2 of those. Assuming you have taken down Godric and you've gained access to Leyndell Lake, if you come over here, you're going to come to Rose Church. So what I'm going to do is fast travel to Folly on the Lake, and I'll see you guys at Rose Church. If you don't know how to get into the lake from lake facing cliffs, follow this main road all the way down, and then as soon as you get to here, this will be on the shore of the lake, and then you can make your way through. So when you do make it to Rose Church, what you're going to do is come over to the northwest side of the church, and over in this direction, there will be a scarab. Once you have killed the scarab, you are going to get an incantation called Bloodflame Blade. After getting your hands on the Bloodflame Blade, what you are going to do is carry on up the lake itself to the very top until you get to the ravine. When you are at the ravine, what you want to do is hug this wall and come all the way round until you get to this broken bridge. So when you do come across the broken bridge, what you're going to do is carry on east a little bit further along. You're going to hear lightning to your right hand side. But keep coming in this direction, you'll see a massive mausoleum. Then over here to your north, you're going to have a spirit spring. So it's right here on the map. So I zoom out a little bit from the ravine, hug this wall all the way round, past the broken bridge, and come to this section here. Then jump. Is going to yeet you in the air. It'll bring you up to here, and over to the northwest there is going to be a site of grace. So make sure you grab this site of grace. This is East Raya Lucaria Gate. From here, if you follow the path all the way up, you are going to come to the Grand Lift of Dectus. When you get to this lift, you are going to need 2 halves of a medallion. You can skip this section if you come over to the very top of the ravine, climb your way up to the top and take down a boss, but this cuts out that boss fight. In order to get your hands on the 2 halves of the medallion for the Grand Lift of Dectus, if you make your way back to the first step and head east so you can follow the path, go north to Gatefront, come down here, up and round along to the Third Church of Marika, you're going to come down to here, which is Fort Height. And inside this fort, at the top of a ladder, there's going to be a chest that will be 1 half of the medallion. Then over to the northeast of here, into Caelid, you are going to have Fort Faroth. This is where the 75k runes instantly dragon lies. Inside the fort is the 2nd half of the medallion. Once you have both halves, go back to the Grand Lift of Dectus. You can use it, you can make your way up into the Altus region. Once you have made it to the Altus Highway Junction, what you are going to do from here will show you as soon as you get onto the actual, like in the area. As soon as you make it to the Altus Plateau, what you're going to do is, you've got to go all the way up these stairs, but stick to the left hand side because arrows will be shot at you. If you go through the middle, you will get hit, but sticking on the left hand side, you're going to avoid them. Then the entire way up these stairs, you want to just kind of zigzag a little bit. Just a little bit of bob and weave to avoid all of the arrows that are coming your way. Because up here on the second ramp, I believe, yep, there are archers. They are going to try and rip you a new one. So just keep bobbing and weaving all the way to the top. Then, when you get up to these massive doors at the top, you are going to have 2 tree sentinel bosses. You do have to take both these bosses down. As you can see, they're no longer in my game. But before you take them down, head through the doors and come to this site of grace to save a checkpoint. So this site of grace right here on the capital outskirts is called Outer Wall Phantom Tree. This golden tree will have 2 golden seeds around it. Then there's another one at the top of those stairs that does the same thing. This pillar here, grab your map fragment. From here, head back through the doors, and what I did, if you followed all of my astrologer / mage builds, I used Sword of Night and Flame to take down the guy on the left. So you can sneak, you can aggro one. So I had summoned my militia, like my skeleton dudes, and I took down the guy on the left. I basically aggroed him, run through the door, and I just kept popping him with Sword of Night and Flame. Then the guy on the right hand side, and I believe you can do it for both. If I jump up on my horse, he kind of started glitching out. But if you jump into here, you can kind of get a shot, and like when they come over, just step back, they can't hit you. But other than that, if you come down to here, what you want to do is jump with your horse onto this section here, and then double jump up here. When you are up here, the one on the right hand side at least, I don't know about that far one, I believe you might be able to get over there somewhere. But this one, I just used Glintstone Pebble, because the guy stood down here at the, like, by these pillars, and I spammed him with Glintstone Pebble and took him down. He never touched me at all. But once you've taken down those 2 tree sentinels, you are going to get your hands on the Erdtree Great Shield. This has a stat requirement of 30 strength and 12 faith. What this shield does is, if we pop it out, if you press your left trigger, it has a skill that does absolutely nothing. That's why we are going to make it do something. So, from this area where we are, Outer Wall Phantom Tree, this is why I said you need to kill Godric. If you make your way up this path, and you come all the way to the very top, you are going to get to the Outer Wall Battleground. Then what you're going to do is head over to the east. Right here there's going to be some stairs. Come up the stairs, follow this path all the way along. And right here, you're going to have another tree sentinel, but this one's an arsehole. He's a lot tougher than the 2 you get at the doors. He is a draconic tree sentinel, and he has 2 phases. The second phase, he is going to be shooting lightning at you. I spammed him with Sword of Night and Flame. I put a spirit on him to aggro him away from me, and it was actually relatively easy with Sword of Night and Flame. But once you kill him, he is going to open up this door behind him. You can come all the way along here to the Capital Rampart site of grace, but there's going to be a door that's locked, and it says you need more great runes. The great runes are what you get from like the demigods and the main bosses and stuff. I've taken down a few of them in the game, but one of them was Godric and the other one was Radahn. I've also done, is it Renala, the Full Moon Queen or something in the Raya Lucaria Academy. And I'm not sure which ones specifically will drop the great runes, but you need at least 2 of them from what I've heard. And it's not just about getting the runes. What you have to do once you have the runes is go to the round table hold, which can be accessed from the bottom left. And this is what you do after you've killed Godric. So in the round table hold, you turn right and you come through here to this room, and you've got 2 fingers. You have to talk to these 2 fingers, and that will break the seal on the door. So just having the great runes isn't going to make a difference. And this thing sitting here, if you interact with that after taking down bosses, I'll quickly show you. You can receive power from remembrance. You can convert these into weapons, so you can actually have the boss weapons that you take down. So like with this one, Remembrance of the Star Scourge, I can get the Star Scourge Greatsword or the bow. And I believe there's a way to duplicate these like officially in the game, so you can take both weapons. But you get these off the bosses. So this was Mog, or Mogwin. This was Radahn. This one here was Renala the Full Moon Queen. And this one was Godric. So I can take Godric's axe. But not only that, she sells things in this vendor menu. She sells some of their armor. You can get Radahn's full armor set. You can get Mog's robe. And this Radahn armor set looks absolutely amazing. It kind of reminds me of Blanca off Street Fighter. So once you've been there, you've visited the Two Fingers, you've interacted, you're going to break the seal on the capital door. So if you come up to Capital Rampart, I'll show you exactly where you need to go. Right now you've got bloodflame blade, you've got the Erdtree great shield. There is one last thing that we need. Also make sure you've got a finger seal or something that you can use to activate incantations with. And I would also put a couple of points into endurance, because right now with this shield I'm at a heavy load. But as I said, the most you're going to need is 30 strength and 12 faith. If you want to run the dismounter, you can use any sword that you can apply incantations to. I'm using the dismounter 16 dexterity requirement, so the sword is entirely up to you, whatever you can wield. But the shield you're going to need 30 strength. The finger seal you're going to need 10 faith, which isn't a hard requirement at all. Then everything else is entirely up to you. So as soon as you've broken the seal, I'm actually going to take the shield and everything off for now. I'll just run the Sword of Night and Flame just in case. But I shouldn't really be attacked. So as soon as you come into this section, pull this lever. If you've never been here before, you won't need to pull the lever. The elevator is going to be there automatically. But once it does arrive, if you've been here before, then make your way up here. I mean, if you've been here before, you'll have all the sites of grace unlocked. So when you get to the top, this is just about following the path all the way to the actual capital itself. So keep coming through, follow this round. There's going to be a couple of items and stuff you can pick up. There's some really nice leveled golden runes in here as well. As soon as you get to this section, at the very end, you're going to want to do a right, because if you go straight forward, you will drop to your death down there, which is, not somewhere anyone wants to go. But in here, you're going to get a site of grace, and this one is called... This is the East Capital Rampart. From here, you're going to carry on. There was a summoning pole on our right-hand side there, but you're going to make it into the Royal Capital. And I mean, just the looks of this game, like all of this covered in gold, it's fucking fantastic. But if you go past these dodgy looking enemies that I like to call snowmen, what you're going to do is just run all the way to the end. It doesn't matter which way you go, they're too slow to attack you. But what you're going to do when you get down here, ignore this weird thing, drop down to the right hand side. Then from here, you're going to jump down onto these gold rooftops. And from these, you're going to follow them all the way along, avoiding all the combat. Just keep going northwest. And jump across. Then onto this right here. Then drop down. In this section, you will have a minor Erdtree boss. You can just ignore it. It will spawn when you get around here. I've already killed it myself, but ignore it and come to the right hand side, down here, and interact with this site of grace. This is Avenue Balcony. From here, we need to get in the gate that's at the top of the stairs. So as you come up here, you go to the right and inside the gate. But that gate is going to be locked. You cannot open it with your bare hands. So what you're going to do is come down the stairs from Avenue Balcony, ignore this archer, try and avoid his arrows. He's going to continue firing. Just ignore them and jump up here. Now we are traversing the wing of the massive dragon thing. But keep going all the way to the very top. And then you're going to want to make your way up to this part here. Then from this part you're going to drop down right here. Now you want to climb this ladder. And up we go to the top. Then, when you get to the top, if you come up these stairs, ignore that dude, run straight past him. You're going to get ambushed right here. There you go, the guy's tried stabbing me. But you're going to have a site of grace here. So, rest at this one, and this site of grace is called West Capital Rampart. So, at this point, you will be here. From here, what you're going to do is make your way outside and down these stairs. Coming back on yourself to this section right here. There are going to be 3 snowmen, so quickly take care of them. I mean, you can do it without killing them, but it's just annoying if they are there. So I'm going to very quickly just swipe all their faces off. And once you have done that, you are going to interact with this lever. I'm not going to touch it because I've already done it. But pull the lever. After you have done that, make your way back to Avenue Balcony. When you get back to Avenue Balcony, go up these stairs and go round to the right. So ignore the minor Erdtree if you haven't already killed it. And then you'll see that the doors at the very top of the stairs are open. So make your way through here. Be careful because this guy does have lightning and he will attack you with it. So what I'm going to do is pop one of these. We are good though because they won't follow you too far. When you get in here, this place is going to be familiar. I mean, it might not be exactly the same place, but it looks like the round table hold. But follow this round to the right, come to the left. You can get a nice armor set of that corpse in the middle as well. In this room, you're going to have a site of grace. So this is called the Fortified Manor First Floor, and on your map is going to be right here. What you're going to do, this is called Flightless Bird, if I remember it correctly, is interact or examine the painting. It's going to give you the painting. Then what you need to do is find out exactly where this painting was done in the game world. So from here, you are going to come out of the city and you're going to make your way back to the outer wall battleground. From here, you're going to come through the massive gate that's here. And you're going to come all the way along this road to the northwest until you get to the Windmill Village. When you arrive at Windmill Village, this is the craziest place in the game in my opinion. You've got all these weird people dancing. But just keep coming northeast and follow the stairs all the way to the very top. However, be careful because there is like a mini boss at the top of here. Follow it all the way around. You're going to get to the windmills at the top. Over on the left-hand side, you're going to see a Godskin Apostle. That is going to drop you a weapon and something else, if I remember correctly. But make your way over to this far corner here. And right here, you will have like a spirit of someone sitting down and they are painting. Because that over there in the really foggy distance is what you saw in the painting in the capital city. Once they have disappeared, it doesn't take too long, they are going to leave you an item. That item is, if we have a look quickly, that item is called Fire's Deadly Sin. It sets the area and yourself ablaze with raging flames. That is exactly what you need to pull this build off. So now, if we fast travel back down to here, the way we are going to set this up is you can run any talismans, any armor, whatever you fancy running. But what I'm going to do, in this hand, I'm going to take the dismounter. In this one, I'm going to take the Erdtree Great Shield. And then in this slot here, I'm going to use my finger seal. So I'm at a heavy load. There's no way to avoid it for me at the moment. But what you're going to do is, if you switch to your seal, and then you choose we'll take Bloodflame Blade first. No, actually, skip that. I'll show you Fire's Deadly Sin. So, if I pop the incantation by pressing my left bumper, I'm going to set myself on fire. But then I lock onto an enemy, and I press left trigger with the shield, and now that useless shield is going to shoot lightning out the front of it. And it's going to deal an okay amount of damage. There are other things in the game you can grab to make this even better, but you are going to be able to keep enemies at bay and take them all out. So it's a very, very nice shield. But what we're going to do, because you are going to constantly tick health, you're going to lose it the entire time you are running this because you're on fire. However, the thing with this shield is it uses your stamina. It doesn't use your FP. So you can take all red flasks if you wanted to, and it wouldn't make a difference. I mean, I'd take a couple so that you can proc the incantations, but you don't need loads and loads, and you can use this on any class as long as you have 30 strength to wield the shield, and then whatever sword you want to take, because if we rest, now that we are not on fire, as I said, there are other things in the game that you can use to make this even stronger. But then, if we set ourselves on fire, so switch to the finger seal, set ourselves on fire, and then if we proc bloodflame blade. We're going to coat our sword in blood. We don't even need the shield out. And watch what happens when I walk past this enemy. They're going to constantly build up with blood. They come anywhere near me and attack me, they're going to start burning and bleeding. So I don't even need to do anything. Obviously, I've lost a lot of health showing you. But I don't need to do anything to hurt enemies. I just walk past them. If we go down to Gatefront Ruins. So now we are down here. Same thing again. Pop out the finger seal. I'm going to set myself on fire. I mean, it's such a weird combination, but it fucking works. Then I'm going to coat my sword in blood. And I can even put the finger seal away, so I've got some shield protection. And look, stand near this guy. Oh, you're dead. I don't even need to attack them. And I'm not using FP. Right now, I'm not using anything besides losing a bit of health. But look, this guy starts. And, yeah, you want to get burnt. And you want to try hitting me. So what you're going to have in return, mate, is I'm going to left trigger. And I'm going to pop you with some lightning. And I'm going to completely fuck you up. This build is mental. It's not going to work anymore because I'm not on fire. But what I could do if I really wanted to is pop an FP thing. Get out the... I didn't mean to do that one again. I'm supposed to press my left bumper. Left bumper. I'm just going to do that and just melt you. And then stand next to you. Night-night. Goodbye. This build is mental. Let's see what happens to a wolf. So I set them on fire and make them... I mean, I've lost bloodflame blade. Hold up. Let me bloody proc it again. So I'm on fire with the blood. Now you're bleeding and you're burning. Goodbye. All you've got to do at this stage is just keep an eye on your health to make sure you don't die. And it just makes everything so easy. So not only are you an absolute nutter because you're setting yourself on fire, you are also procking your sword with blood, and then you have this weird and wonderful magical shield that if you just use some stamina after you set yourself on fire, see, it doesn't work unless you set yourself on fire. So you have to be an absolute lunatic for this to work. But you set yourself on fire, you look at this guy with some decent range as well, just not an unlimited amount of range, and then just fire the lightning at him, and yeah, night-night, he's dropped me some loot. It can be run on any class. You can find extra items in the game to make it even more powerful, but I just wanted to show you the base of it. If I do continue with this and make it even more powerful, you'll find it weird because after you sat at a site of grace, you're still on fire. But if I do find ways to make it even more powerful, I'll come back and I'll show you guys. All you need is 30 strength, access to the capital, and it seems a lot, but it really isn't in a game like Elden Ring. Access to the capital, 30 strength, a little bit of faith, run a sword that you want, grab the Erdtree shield, get yourself bloodflame blade at the northwest side of Rose Church over here. Buy the little scarab, just take it out. Careful, there are two in the area, one drops nothing. It's the one that's just northwest of the church. And then after that, you go into the... Where was it? It was the Fortified Manor, the first floor of it. You go in there, you check the painting, you come up to Windmill Village, past all the wacky doodle things up there that are fucking dancing around. You come to the very edge, you check where the picture was painted, you grab the Fire's Deadly Sin and then just proc it all, and yeah, you can keep enemies at bay. You can bleed you can make them bleed if they come anywhere near you. It's just a fantastic build for a load of fun. So it might not be the most powerful at its base, like in terms of how much damage it can deal in a short amount of time, but it is incredibly overpowered in the fact that you can keep enemies at bay and use lightning out of a shield that only consumes stamina, so you don't even need to put a load of points into your FP, but you can also run it by just going up to an enemy and making them bleed and burn. And the blood loss build up is quite cool. It deals a nice amount of damage whilst they're burning at the same time. Enemies don't stand a chance with it. The only thing I would recommend is making it really, really powerful before you use it to take down bosses. But I would say it's definitely capable of deleting bosses out of this game. And what we're going to do on that note is leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about this in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.